Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and I love that today, on all days, we get to talk about health, healing, vibrance, life. I'm going to talk about coaching yourself back into a vibrant level of healing. And we're going to talk about something most people don't discuss until it becomes a big problem, and that is our kidney health. And hey, guys, this is your health hour. The Ask Dr. Ernst Show exists for a specific reason. You ask your health questions. We deliver weekly with natural, holistic, and alternative techniques. And we have had a ton of questions relating to kidney health, specifically kidney stones, infections, and just overall kidney functionality. So I want to share with you some ways that you can enhance this one organ that, again, most of us don't pay attention to until, here comes the diagnosis of a kidney stone or an infection in the bladder or stuff like that. You know, most of us have done liver cleanses, we've done colon cleanses, but there's probably a high likelihood that you need to and should pay attention to doing a kidney cleanse, especially, listen to this, if you're someone who deals with high blood sugar, high blood pressure, any sorts of joint pains, aching, numbness, tingling, more specifically, fluid retention within your feet, your ankles, your legs, etc. Most of us understand our kidneys make urine, yes. They help us to excrete toxins, yes. But did you know that your kidneys have a massive connection to your heart health? Your kidneys physically balance the electrolytes that are responsible for normal cardiac rhythm, potassium, sodium, calcium, etc. So oftentimes, people who have arrhythmias or even blood pressure issues, it may actually be that something's going on with your kidney. Did you know that your kidney is more responsible for your blood pressure than any other major organ within your body? Partly because, again, it regulates fluid. So high levels of fluid retention, high levels of fluid in your closed system, so pressures start to elevate. And also, listen to this, if you're someone who struggles with an anemia, did you know that your kidney releases a specific protein that tells your bone marrow to make new blood cells? Come on. Your kidneys are also highly important for your overall bone health. So if you're someone who struggles with osteoporosis or osteopenia, you may want to pay attention to the health of your kidney because listen to this, the kidneys activate vitamin D. So many of us take vitamin D as a supplement, but if it doesn't get activated into its proper form, then you can't actually absorb calcium and potassium and other nutrients needed for proper bone health. Your kidneys also are a major regulator with your acid-alkaline base. So they balance the alkalinity. They make sure your body has a good pH. And unfortunately, if we just listen to the statistics, kidney issues are a big problem for a lot of people. 1 in 10 Americans have a chronic kidney disease. This is a diagnosis where they're doing something like dialysis, or they're taking a medication to try to enhance their kidney function. 350 million Americans go to dialysis on a regular basis. More than 100,000 people are on a list for kidney transplants. Heart disease is the number one downstream effect of having chronic kidney disease. And listen to this. They're now finding evidence that the main culprit, what causes more damage to our kidneys than anything else, is not the foods we eat necessarily. We'll talk about how you can enhance your foods to clean your kidneys out, but it's the level of blood sugars that you have flowing around in you at all times. Diabetics tend to have kidney disease, but as we know, 1 in 3 Americans are pre-diabetic. They're in a state of having this level of elevated blood sugar and possibly A1C elevation without knowing it or being diagnosed. And of course, as I'm sure you're aware, early prevention is the key to saving organs and organ health. So we're going to talk today about how to give some love to these 2 little bean-shaped organs that sit in the middle of your abdomen, just below your rib cage, that filter over 150 quarts of blood a day. Come on, we got to give some love to the organs that take care of our health and our healing. Not only do they detox from our body and help us to remove chemicals, but they're going to regulate a major functionality within blood pressure, also within cholesterols, even blood sugars, rhythms to your heart, your bone balance, your acid base. You hear it. There's a lot that our kidneys do for us. So I'm going to give you guys the top foods today that you should focus on that'll actually cleanse and heal your kidney. We're going to talk about some kitchen herbs. These are things that you use probably with spices that help to enhance detoxification, powerful diuretics. We're going to discuss some steps to prevent kidney stones because it's one of the number one conditions people deal with when we think about kidney health. and we're going to talk about, again, just giving some love to your kidneys for a nice cleanse, especially during the fact that we're in the spring season and it's time to detox our body. Also, don't forget that this Saturday is the last Saturday to register through our show for our up-and-coming webinar. Next Saturday, the 15th of May, I'm hosting a How to Heal Yourself, no MD required. You're going to be the doctor. You don't have to go into a physician's clinic and have them give you something to try to manage a symptom. If you have high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, diabetes, maybe it's chronic kidney stones, maybe it's neck pain, back pain, headaches, if you're looking for a holistic and a natural way out of whatever you struggle with, this webinar is absolutely free and it's specific for you. 704-906-2094 is the number. What you're going to do is either call it or text it with your name and your email, and we'll get you registered. Again, on this webinar, I'm going to show you the top tests that you should do daily on yourself and the medical exams you can have done that will show you the cause of whatever health issue you're dealing with. And then we're going to go through the natural steps. What's step 1, 2, 3? How do we deal with diet? How do we deal with detoxification? How do we focus on our energy systems to let our body regenerate? Again, the webinar is free, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Ever been to the beach and you want to bottle up the feeling of relaxation and take it home with you? Lake Norman Salt Spa offers just that. In just one 30-minute session, you are immersed in a climate-controlled salt room with pure pharmaceutical-grade mineral salt, similar to sea salt. One 30-minute session is like going to the beach for the entire day. You not only receive the anti-aging benefits of the salt like you would at the beach, but you're also benefiting from recharging your body's natural battery. The standard American lifestyle exposes you to toxins and stress, which drains your battery, accelerating the aging process and developing disease. You can recharge your battery by surrounding yourself in an environment that is negatively charged, like mineral salt. The more negative ions in your system, the better you feel, and most importantly, the better you heal. On top of all these amazing benefits, the therapy is done in a completely sterile environment. Call the Lake Norman Salt Spa today for 50% off your first session. Call 704-997-5890. That's 704-997-5890.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries, delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. It's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and today we're discussing a little-known detox. I guarantee you've cleansed your colon. I bet you've detoxed your liver. But how much love have you given to your kidneys, a major organ in your body that regulates more than just urine production? It's been connected to heart health, been connected to your blood pressure, connected to your bone health, connected to the ability for you to create new blood cells. It's a balancer and a regulator of our acid-base balance, which is the relationship between how acidic we are versus how alkaline we are. It boosts our overall health. And most importantly, it is a primary detox organ. So if we think of it as a filter, and every day you have roughly about 150, let me see how much it was. Yes, you have 150 different quarts of blood that go through your kidney daily. For a cleansing process, remove the waste, keep the proteins, keep the red blood cells, help to reabsorb vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, regulate proteins that actually activate regeneration. I don't know if you know this or not, but your kidneys tell your cells in your body how to start to reproduce themselves. We get new blood cells, we get new white blood cells, we make new bone health, and we grow new bone because of our kidneys. And I want you to also think kidney, heart, because there's a massive connection between the health of your kidneys and the health of your heart. And with heart disease being one of the climbing, leading, I'll call it widowmakers, if you will, it's maybe time to pay attention to an underlooked cause. Okay, most of the time, conventional medicine will say, whatever organ's failing, that's the problem. Heart's the problem, thyroid's the problem, etc. But in the world of holistic medicine, we know that all organs are interconnected, and your kidneys are one that, again, most of us don't pay attention to until here comes that stone, or here comes that infection, or here comes that diagnosis. So what are the main causes of kidney issues? Okay, well, first and foremost, you have to understand it's directly connected to your blood sugars. And this is a bit of a conundrum because I talk every week about how blood sugars relate to your overall health, but it is, according to some research, even the National Kidney Foundation says your blood glucose levels are the main reason that you may suffer from some degree of kidney issues. And the challenge becomes, if you're not diagnosed, you might think, well, I don't have a kidney problem. But remember, there's functional, which is a sort of pre-diagnostic state where your kidneys are starting to lose capacity. Then there's pre-disease, where symptomatology shows up, but we don't see it on the labs yet. Then there's early disease, where it shows up on the labs. Maybe you do have symptoms, maybe you don't. Then there's chronic and or late stage, which would be those of you, if you know this person or if you are this person, who has to do some sort of medication or has to go into dialysis and has to try to flush the kidney out. So let's try to grab all of this before it becomes a problem. Pay attention to our kidneys now. And the way we do that is by, again, focusing on the main source, the main cause. Blood sugar elevations throughout the day, insulin spikes, insulin resistance, paying attention to your blood sugar is absolutely critical for your overall kidney health. Diabetes is the current leading cause of chronic kidney disease, and with prediabetes being so rampant and blood sugar issues also causing problems with not just cholesterols and triglycerides and fats, but also the kidney, we need to make sure we pay attention to this. What I want to teach you is this concept of how does the sugar in your blood potentially damage your kidney. Well, it's because when sugar's present, insulin elevates, and as insulin elevates, you get this product called an AGE, advanced glycosylation end product. I want you to think of these as sort of like landmines rolling around in your blood, and if they land on an organ, these protein-bound sugar products, they start to create congestion or they create irritation. And according to a 2005 study that was published in the American Journal of Physiology and Renal Physiology, decreased renal function is found when there's an increase in circulation of these glycosylated end products. Translation: the more sugar you have, the more proteins in your blood that have sugar connected to them, the higher your A1C, the higher your fasting blood sugars, the higher your insulin, the higher chance you have of having some sort of kidney issue. It can develop because what happens is the purpose of the kidney is to try to regulate these glycosylation end products. I want you to think of your kidney as a filter that tries to pull these out. So if there's lots of these advanced glycosylation end products or these AGEs, your kidneys start to suffer to some degree. According to a study that was published in 2018 in the Clinical Medicinal Insights of Endocrinological Diabetes, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Insulin resistance leads to a 40 to 100% increased risk. 100%, which indicates if you have some levels of blood sugar issues, you're going to have some level of kidney issues. It increases not only inflammation to the kidney, but it also can cause damage to other organs, including your liver and your heart. In 2019, a study was published in the journal Nephrology that showed that high levels of insulin can actually cause risk to the kidney and shuts down its filtration process, making it more likely to develop into a disease state in the future. So the number one cause of kidney issues is our sugars are too high. So we're going to have to discuss today, which is, guess what we're going to do? How to lower our blood sugars. The number two cause is having high blood pressure in the first place, simply because it places additional stress and pressure within the vascular system. And if you increase pressure in a closed loop system, and that's your body, okay? You're not leaking fluids out anywhere. The pressure starts to elevate, and so the vessels and the tubules start to spread apart. And again, if you think of your kidney as a filter, we want little tiny holes to be able to pull chemicals and toxins out of the blood, create urine, and excrete it. If those holes start to expand, well, then we don't pull the toxins as appropriately as we should, and the kidneys can start to struggle. How would you know if you have a kidney issue? Well, unfortunately, you can't feel this until it becomes more chronic. So I want to teach you some of the tests that you should be having done, or you probably have had them done, you just didn't know what they were. Lab tests for kidney function include blood urea nitrogen. It's a level that's done on a comprehensive bioscreen. Most physicians will do this, and we also look at the carbon dioxide levels in your body. Blood urea nitrogen is the, what I'll call sort of like measurement of the amount of nitrogen within the blood, and it's also a portion of your urine. So I want you to sort of think of it as if you have high levels of blood urea nitrogen in your blood, then it means your body's not filtering out through the kidney the urea and the nitrogen. So technically, if we could call it, there's a small amount of urine in your blood because the body should be pulling this. If your blood urea nitrogen levels have elevated, it indicates that the kidneys are starting to shut down. And normal ranges are between 13 and 18 milligrams per deciliter. We've seen some people get tested and their levels can be a lot higher. Creatine is another test that will tell you the functionality of your kidneys. As renal problems develop, you'll start to see an increase in the amount of creatine in the blood, again, because the kidneys are supposed to filter this product out. Creatine is a byproduct of metabolism within your body, specifically also muscle creation. If the kidneys are working properly, they remove the creatine at a proper rate, and if they're not, we start to see the creatine levels rise. The ideal range for a male is nothing over 1.1. The ideal range for a woman is nothing over 0.9. So if creatine levels are climbing, you guys start thinking kidney, and we need to start paying attention to this kidney detox I'm going to teach you. Your GFR stands for glomerular filtration rate. It's, in essence, a method of testing how well are your kidneys filtering chemicals and toxins out of the blood. If your GFR is over 90, then you're doing fantastic. As it starts to decrease, if we get into the range of, say, less than 60 or down into 50 or 40, it indicates that the kidneys are having a really difficult time filtering. And if your GFR is extremely low, it indicates, of course, the kidneys are in a failure state. Because your kidneys filter and they keep proteins from getting into the urine, One of the most important tests you can also have done is looking at the amount of albumin both in your urine and in your blood. If there's high levels of it within your blood, it can create a challenge. Albumin is made within the liver, and it regulates things like calcium and sodium and potassium and also certain hormones. And albumin helps to also pull water into cell tissues. So a healthy kidney will not let albumin pass into the urine. So if you have high levels of this albumin protein within your urine, it can indicate that your kidneys are suffering. We also know that sodium and potassium and chloride and phosphorus are certain minerals and nutrients that the kidney regulates. So we want to make sure that your blood volumes of sodium, potassium, chloride, and phosphorus are within the normal limits. Any elevations of that can be an indication that the kidneys are starting to suffer to a small degree. Now, some tests you can have done that will tell you more about your kidney functionality that you might not be doing is, again, looking at fasting insulin levels, blood sugar levels, A1C levels. Insulin, of course, is a hormone that's produced as your blood sugars elevate. And in response to the elevation in blood sugar, insulin can also create a cascade of inflammation. Over time, these inflammatory surges can actually create irritation to the glomerulus, which is the filtration aspect of your kidney, and that can lead to a decrease in function within the kidney. Ideal ranges for fasting insulin are 5.0 or less. And I'm going to give a word of caution. When I've tested a lot of patients who come in for some degree of, I'm looking to solve my health issues, I'm looking for natural, we run these tests and we find that most people have elevated levels of insulin, partly because most of us are walking around in a state of prediabetes. Hemoglobin A1C, while you might not think it is connected directly to a kidney test, it actually is because, again, elevated blood sugars are the leading cause of kidney irritation and or kidney damage. If your A1C is elevated beyond 5.4, I know you might be looking at your labs if you pull it from your medical test and they'll say 6.4, nothing over that. Well, that's because that's what they use to diagnose diabetes. We're looking at overall inflammatory processes, and for you to have a really good relationship with your blood sugars, you want your hemoglobin A1C to be less than 5.4, ideally 5.2, 5.1. What is A1C? Well, it's the percentage of hemoglobin that has glucose attached to it. That's an AIDS product, an advanced glycosylation end product. Proteins with sugars bound to it are dangerous to the human body. If your hemoglobin A1C is elevating, it indicates that for the last 12 weeks that your blood sugars have been beyond the normal ranges. And so we want to make sure we pay attention to lowering our blood sugars, helping to regulate our vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, activating the enzymatic process to clean out not only our blood, but also our liver and our kidney. So when I come back from this next commercial break, I'm going to teach you the top foods that will clean your kidneys out. We're going to talk about the herbs you can use in your kitchen that also flush and create a diuretic response, giving you better blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, and even heart health. Don't forget, next Saturday, the 15th of May, I'm hosting a webinar. It is on 10 a.m. in the morning on how to heal yourself, 3 steps. No MD required. You can do it. All I need to know is if you'd like to join me. 704-906-2094. That's 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Ever been to the beach and you want to bottle up the feeling of relaxation and take it home with you? Lake Norman Salt Spa offers just that. In just one 30-minute session, you are immersed in a climate-controlled salt room with pure pharmaceutical-grade mineral salt, similar to sea salt. One 30-minute session is like going to the beach for the entire day. You not only receive the anti-aging benefits of the salt like you would at the beach, but you're also benefiting from recharging your body's natural battery. The standard American lifestyle exposes you to toxins and stress, which drains your battery, accelerating the aging process and developing disease. You can recharge your battery by surrounding yourself in an environment that is negatively charged, like mineral salt. The more negative ions in your system, the better you feel, and most importantly, the better you heal. On top of all these amazing benefits, the therapy is done in a completely sterile environment. Call the Lake Norman Salt Spa today for 50% off your first session. Call 704-997-5890. That's 704-997-5890.
Today, Monticello has a population of 126. It's a small enough town, everybody knows everybody. There are no stoplights in Monticello, so if you're driving too fast, you're going to miss it. But if you happen to turn in, you're going to run across a great Protestant church that has services every Sunday morning. You can go to the post office, and the postmaster's name is Randy. He's always glad to see you. Everybody in town knows everybody. When you walk in the bank, you're called to by your first name. You're not just an account number. We've started the business there 10 years ago, and very slowly and surely we've built up a business that actually reaches out and touches all 50 states and several foreign countries. At the turn of the century, diabetes was almost non-existent. But if you turn the clock up 100 years to 2000, we have a runaway epidemic of diabetes. When I went to school, nobody had ADD. I mean, you look at the modern school today, you've got kids taking medicine, and this is all driven off of diet. And it's so simple just to get back to the foundations of good, healthy diet, and by consuming, grass-fed beef, organic vegetables, getting away from processed foods. This is a paddock move. These animals are coming into this paddock. This has been at rest for probably 30 days. And as soon as they come in here, you can watch their habits. They're going to put their nose down. They're going right after high quality forage.
What I've done here today is give them a fresh strip of grass controlled by this tape over here. This has given them a very consistent ration from day to day. This is an example of what they're getting to eat right now.
But you can just observe the humor of the animals. This is the happiest time of the day. I call it ice cream and cookies. Looking down on the ground, on the landscape here, we have a lot of clovers. We've got annual forages, perennial forages, and a lot of the native forages have come back. The blue stems, the Indian grasses, they're much more prevalent in June and July, but the old seed stock is here. But if we manage the landscape like it should be managed, 95% of the public has never heard of CLA, but it's one of the best kept secrets in agriculture in these grazing animals. You get it from grass-fed beef, grass-fed lamb, grass-fed bison. And you might ask, what does CLA do? A very unique compound, one of the best things you could consume from the standpoint of cancer. It's very effective against cancer. It's very effective against diabetes. Research out of Purdue has documented that. A lot of animal trials, now human trials. And most interestingly, it actually helps the body put on lean muscle and reduce fat. 90% of the cattle in this country or more end up going into a commercial feedlot where they're slowly converted from a grazing diet over to a starch diet. When you fill the animal full of starch, you completely change the chemistry of the finished product, and you end up with an omega-6-3 ratio 20-1, 18-1, and the CLA production is almost nil because of the starch diet.
I don't think that you can beat this example right here where the sun's energy is producing this grass, and this grass is producing these cattle without having any antibiotics, growth promotants, or grain fed to them.
Grass-fed beef is a unique opportunity for you to take control of your health. I've taken control of my health over the last 10 years. I feel better, I feel stronger. Our animals eat right, so you can too.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, host and also regulator of your health and healing when we activate the natural health process you have within inside of your body. We say this is the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free, because as you take responsibility for your health, you're going to find that your body always pays it back tenfold. It's kind of like the greatest investment you can ever make is to put energy, time, and resources into your healing protocols. We're talking about everything from fasting to detoxing to cleansing. Today's topic is specific to cleaning out an organ that most of you may not be paying attention to on a regular basis, your kidneys. Most people do a liver cleanse or a colon cleanse, or they'll do a body cleanse, but your kidneys do so much more for us than just produce urine. We talked about this at the top of the hour, but there's now new research showing that I want you to connect kidney with heart. Think heart, kidney, heart. Also, bone health, blood health, overall health. Your kidneys regulate a lot of the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that are needed for you to have proper rate, rhythm, and pressure. They get rid of wastes like uric acid and toxins and other waste products from your blood directly into the urine. They help to activate vitamin D, which is vital for your overall bone health. And they also help you to absorb the nutrients you need to create good, strong, healthy bones. They regulate your blood levels, including the amount of red blood cells you have flowing around within your body. Your kidneys release a specific hormone called erythropoietin, which helps to produce more red blood cells. So sometimes people who are having issues with anemia will say, oh gosh, I need to take more iron or I need to eat more meats. Maybe you need to do a kidney detox. Most importantly, they regulate the acid-base balance, so they make sure your body's not too acidic, and also they confirm that you're in somewhat of an alkaline state. So we need to make sure we give some love to our kidneys. And I'm going to talk right now about the number one diet that research has shown can actually help to improve kidney health and possibly turn around a kidney that's starting to go downhill fast. That is the anti-inflammatory ketogenic diet. Some studies have shown it is the highest diet to produce an anti-inflammatory response, and ketone bodies have actually been shown to be restorative and productive in helping to regenerate new cellular function. What a ketone body is a specific type of an acid, if you will, that is produced when your body gets into a state of burning fat for energy. Ketone bodies can clean out cellular tissues. They can help to regulate your pressure. Think of them as almost sort of like disease scavengers. They can run around and be extra energy sources for cellular tissues so that your body starts to produce better function. Ketone bodies also help to produce overall brain functionality. In fact, they've been related to even being the equivalent of sort of like a diesel engine fuel backup for your brain. And because most of us struggle with energy and focus and memory and attention, not only does a ketogenic diet help our kidneys, but it actually helps to help almost every area of your health. One of the main reasons that ketogenic diets have been connected to increased kidney function is they specifically lower insulin, lower blood sugars, and help to reduce those what are called advanced glycosylation end products that I talked to you about at the earlier part of the show. When you have high levels of blood sugar, those proteins that are naturally bound within your body will get sugar connected to them. And those sugar-bound proteins can create a congestion within organ tissues. Because your kidneys are a high inflammatory sort of regulatory detox system, we want to make sure we're not overburdening them with these advanced glycosylation end products. A ketogenic diet, of course, as you may know, is a high plant fat, moderate to low protein, ultra low carbohydrate diet program. And if you need more information on how to follow it specifically, head on over to AskDrErnst.com. We have an entire protocol for you available free on how to activate a ketogenic state within your body. Going into this keto diet, I want to talk about some key foods that have been shown to cleanse your kidneys out. Number one being cucumber. According to the National Institutes of Health and the National Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Foundation, cucumbers have a specific way to enhance the diuretic effect and also reduce the amount of protein stress that's placed within the kidney. Because they have a very high water content and also silica, they help you to stay hydrated and they help to kick in a natural detoxification process within the kidney. Some studies show that cucumbers and their juices can actually help to resolve kidney stones and or toxins within the liver and also within the kidney. Celery is another high water content vegetable that's extremely antioxidant rich. And listen to this. A 2019 study was published in the Journal of Pharmacy and Bioallied Sciences that showed that celery and celery juices actually increase the filtration rate of the kidney and help to dissolve current and place kidney stones. Think about that. Dandelion greens are another exceptional green product that you can consume on a regular basis that helps to detox and cleanse the kidney. The Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that dandelion greens have a diuretic effect that directly benefits overall kidney health. Beets, this is considered the #1 food for overall kidney health. The adrenal glands, which often respond to stress, require a level of nitric oxide to be able to be produced within the body. And I want you to think nitric oxide is a natural, healthy flushing response within the blood. As nitric oxide levels elevate, it's been shown to increase the filtration rates and also enhance the sort of cleansing effects within the kidney. Beets are an extremely popular food that actually have been shown, according to a published journal in Nutrition and Metabolism, to increase nitric oxide. They're beneficial for overall kidney function. They help to reduce blood pressure and also kidney pressure. Cranberries, cherries, and blackberries are the top 3 fruits I want you to think of when you're thinking of cleansing out your kidneys. Cranberries are exceptional because not only have they been shown to decrease the bacteria that connects to the kidney that leads to kidney infections, but also the D-mannose, which is a sugar found inside of it, can actually help to enhance filtration rates. There was a study done where they gave women cranberry juice concentrates, and they found that there was a decrease in the number of urinary tract infections and the overall prevalence of that condition with people who have had chronic kidney issues. Blueberries, high in resveratrol, they also help to enhance overall kidney functionality. My goodness, we have so much more foods to focus on, herbs that help to cleanse, and I'm going to go through the top steps on how to prevent and resolve some kidney stones when we come back. Don't forget, next Saturday, the 15th of May, I'm hosting my free webinar. It's on 3 steps to heal yourself. If you'd like to lose weight, get back on track again with your health, call this number, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Ever been to the beach and you want to bottle up the feeling of relaxation and take it home with you? Lake Norman Salt Spa offers just that. In just one 30-minute session, you are immersed in a climate-controlled salt room with pure pharmaceutical-grade mineral salt, similar to sea salt. One 30-minute session is like going to the beach for the entire day. You not only receive the anti-aging benefits of the salt like you would at the beach, but you're also benefiting from recharging your body's natural battery. The standard American lifestyle exposes you to toxins and stress, which drains your battery, accelerating the aging process and developing disease. You can recharge your battery by surrounding yourself in an environment that is negatively charged, like mineral salt. The more negative ions in your system, the better you feel, and most importantly, the better you heal. On top of all these amazing benefits, the therapy is done in a completely sterile environment. Call the Lake Norman Salt Spa today for 50% off your first session. Call 704-997-5890. That's 704-997-5890.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. more antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. Today we get this incredible conversation about cleansing an organ that most of us don't pay attention to until sometimes it's too late. I'm talking about your kidneys. I'm talking about your kidney health. Many of you have done colon cleanses or liver cleanses, but when it comes to these two organs that most of us really kind of take for granted, I think, your kidneys are something I want you to think of as something we want to pay attention to and help flush, if not daily, if not weekly, at least at the minimum of on a monthly basis. But I'm going to recommend we do it every single day. Our kidneys are responsible for so much more than just urinary production. Not only do they filter a tremendous amount of blood, 150 quarts of blood pass through them every single day, they are regulating major components of our health, including things like our blood pressure, the rates and rhythms of our heart, the health of our bones, the beauty of our blood, the amount of red blood cells we have, white blood cells. They also ensure that we have good balance between our acids and our alkaline bases. And as many of you know, that if your body becomes too acidic, it invites a state of disease. If it becomes alkaline, it invites a state of health and healing. So we have to thank our kidneys for that. 1 in 10 Americans have chronic kidney disease. That's a lot, just so you guys know. It's about 34 million Americans. More than 350,000 go through dialysis on a regular basis. More than 100,000 people are on a kidney transplant list, which means their kidneys have already shut down. They're having hope that somebody else would donate one to them. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death with people who have chronic kidney disease. Why? Because you should think kidney, heart health, kidney, heart health. And the leading cause of kidney issues for most of us is the fact we haven't been paying attention to our blood sugars. We think we're not diabetic, so we don't have to worry about it. But in fact, elevated blood sugars, elevated insulin, and the stress from those advanced glycosylation end products, the AGEs, the proteins that have sugars bound to them can wreak havoc into not only just our joints, but also our organs like our kidneys. We talked just on the last segment about certain foods you can start consuming that in the research has been shown to drastically help to eliminate kidney issues and actually open them up. Everything from cucumbers to celery to dandelion greens to beets. You know what that sounds like to me? A great vegetable juice to make. Juice it down, drink it every single day. We talked about how cranberries, cherries, and blueberries are an exceptional antioxidant, high healing fruit for the kidneys. Cranberries also have some natural abilities to fight back from urinary tract infections. There's a sugar found in them called D-mannose, which specifically prevents bacteria from binding to the cell walls of your kidney and your bladder. Blueberries and black cherries are high in a compound called resveratrol, and it is one of the most important key nutrients when you think about urinary tract health, especially partly because studies have been done showing that resveratrol has an ability to increase filtration rates of the kidney, create a natural diuretic response and help to detox from the acids and the orates that usually cause a lot of kidney stones. I also want you to think of both lime and lemon as being an exceptional detox for the kidneys. The citric acid found in both of them is a component that helps to regulate, I'll call it the acidity of your urine. There was a study done in the Korean Journal of Urology that found that low amounts of citrate in the urine led to high amounts of kidney stones and also some degrees of kidney dysfunction. When we increase citric acid, we help to get the citrates into the urine system, and it helps to flush and kind of clean out the kidney and also to potentially prevent stones from forming. Lemons also do the same benefit. Between 4 to 6 ounces of either lemon or lime juice daily, according to some studies, can help you to significantly flush out your kidneys. Dates might be not something that you think are directly connected to kidney health, but watch this. There was a study done where they found if you soak dates in water for 24 hours and then you consumed them, they had an effect at not only dissolving kidney stones, but also helping to flush the kidney out in itself. Partly because they're extremely high in magnesium, and when you push magnesium into the body, it actually opens up some of the filtration aspects for the kidneys and helps them to flush. Kidney beans, partly they got their name because they look exactly like kidneys, are the one food that you should think, okay, it's a mirror image correlation to the same organ. This is something that we want to consume on a more higher basis. Kidney beans are extremely high in vitamin B, which has been shown to boost the functionality of the urinary tract system and also increase the filtration process. Onions and garlic, which are basically foods that help to create a little bit of an acidity reaction within the body. They have a component called allicin, which is not only a natural antibacterial and an antifungal, but one study published in the Journal of Hypertension found that regular consumption of onions and garlics resulted in a 32% reduction of kidney disease, 64% reduction of cardiovascular disease, and even cut hypertension down by 26%. So this is something, of course, you guys have all these things sitting in your home on a regular basis, but we might want to start using them more frequently. Some herbs that have been found to be extremely helpful for kidney functionality include parsley. There was a study done in the International Journal of Molecular Science that showed that parsley has a major diuretic effect and can also help to prevent the formation of kidney stones, which again is a big issue for a lot of people today. Basil, in a similar fashion, has also been found to be an exceptional diuretic. When we say the word diuretic, we mean a flusher, something that can increase the productivity of urine and the excretion of byproducts. Basil's also been found to reduce the pain, the inflammation, and potentially the size of certain kidney stones. Basil helps to lower the uric acid levels within the blood and can improve overall kidney health. They also have acetic acids, which help to break down kidney stones and allow for a safer, more easier removal. Basil also, by the way, has a natural sort of analgesic effect, somewhat of a natural painkiller. Cilantro, again, something we often put in our salads or our salsas or in sometimes, into dressings and things of this effect. There was a study done in the journal Interdisciplinary Toxicology. Again, big mouthful with some of these. Cilantro had an effect at reducing medication-induced damage to the kidneys. Now, the other thing that we often find with people who have some kidney struggles is the formation of kidney stones. And I want to give you sort of a quick and dirty how to flush out a kidney stone in a safer, more healthier method. Number one is to recognize that kidney stones form because of us being in an acidic state in the first place. Either uric acid levels are high or the orate levels are high within our blood. Many times what we find is we're eating foods that are high in both uric acid and orates. And so I want to give you the list of foods you should avoid if you chronically get kidney stones, and then we're going to talk about some things you can do to flush these out in a simple and safe method. Number one is eggplant, extremely high in orates. Processed, packaged lunch meats, extremely high. This is going to come as a bit of a shock, but here we go. Spinach and Swiss chard, even though they're green vegetables, extremely high in orates. Certain beans and legumes, they have lectins and they also have an orate level behind them, so we got to be careful that we're not consuming too many beans and legumes. Some of the highest levels of orates which can produce kidney stones are found in potatoes and yams as well. So we want to make sure that we're decreasing our orate levels and helping the kidneys to flush those. So it comes down to one simple concept, and I call this the hyperhydration effect. If you take lemons and limes and healthy salts, So that would be Himalayan salt or potentially a Celtic salt or a sea salt. You can create this beverage that you can use as a fasting liquid to flush out the kidneys and also help you to enhance the filtration process. Take a gallon of water, the juice of about 3 to 4 lemons and 3 to 4 limes, mix that together into the gallon, put 2 teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt, and use that beverage as a natural flushing technique, either by fasting with it for 24 hours or by looking at this simple concept that most of us are dehydrated and we need to do way more than just this equation of body weight divided by 2. Most of us know that we need to drink water, and if I say, how much should you drink? You'll say, well, half my body weight in ounces. Okay, that's the minimum amount of water to consume. If you want to flush your kidney and you want to help your body to sort of regenerate normal function, we want you to do maybe 3/4 of your body weight, or possibly even your body weight. 170 pounds, 170 ounces. 190 pounds, 190 ounces. And if you use the lemons and you use the salt, it's been shown to help to decrease the acidity of the urine itself, which helps to stop the productivity of the orates and the uric acids that precipitate out and form a stone. Did you know also that consuming higher levels of magnesium and B vitamin-rich foods have been found to help decrease the oxalates and the uric acid productions, which not only prevents stones from forming, but if you currently have a stone, we need to get the system to switch the acidity of the urine to help it to redissolve back in. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, grass-fed meats, even flax seeds are all foods that are extremely low in orates and help to enhance the ability for your body to dissolve stones naturally. When we look at some of the most powerful kidney flushing herbs, there's 2 that I want to bring to mention. Number 1 is milk thistle. It has an exceptional ability to not only detox the liver, but helps also detox the kidneys. And glycine and glutamine are 2 nutrients that you can take on a regular basis to help enhance a detoxification effect, not just within the kidney, but also within your liver and within your blood. We tend to find that oftentimes when there's a lot of kidney stones and things of this effect, is because you've been consuming high amounts of either pesticides or herbicides or toxins within the foods you consume. So your body's trying to pull those chemicals and they precipitate into the kidney, and sometimes they end up as a stone. So if we increase the flushing rates, if we focus on the foods that are anti-inflammatory, if we cut the orates out of our diet, if we work on sort of looking at an anti-inflammatory ketogenic diet, all of this can be done in a simple, easy way, and it will improve overall kidney functionality. And if you're someone who suffers from kidney stones frequently, what you'll probably see is the reduction of the rate and the quantity and the amount of them. If you're someone who struggles with high blood pressure or blood sugar issues, again, your kidneys are vitally important in the regulation of that. So if we focus on a kidney cleanse or a kidney detox like we talked about today, you may even see shifts in blood sugars, triglycerides, cholesterols, and your blood pressure. And speaking of that, that's why I'm also hosting my webinar next Saturday. It's on 3 steps to heal yourself with no MD required, meaning you can be the doctor. You can take control and responsibility of your health. That webinar is on the 15th of this month at 10 a.m., which is next Saturday. It's absolutely free. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to reduce and or decrease your reliance upon a medication for whatever you're taking, let's find the root cause of your health issue, solve it, and take a natural approach to healing yourself. The number again, 704-906-2094. Call it or text your name and your email. We'll get you registered, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. It's the Ask Dr. Aaron Show. Thanks so much for being here. Until next week.